Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Lisa, and I'm here to share some devotionals with all of you. The first one is titled Record Breaking Bugs. An amazing fact: the record for the fastest flying insect is that of a male horsefly. Horseflies mate in a surprising way. The male catches the female mid-air, and they both drop to the ground while mating. One entomologist reports that he was able to get a male horsefly to chase a plastic pellet from his air rifle. Amazingly, the fly caught and dropped to the ground with the pellet, which was going at least 90 miles an hour. Another notable insect is the small, dull-colored moth called the dark swordgrass or black cutworm moth. With a wingspan of just 5 centimeters, this moth usually has air speeds of 5 to 8 miles per hour. But when riding the winds of a cold front, it has been known to sustain ground speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. The fastest moving land insects are Australian tiger beetles. These beetles, named after tigers, because of their impressive jaws and hunting style, are incredibly fast relative to their body size. One species of this beetle, the Cicindela hudsoni, has the fastest absolute speed for a land insect, a whopping 5.57 miles per hour or 120 body lengths per second. In human terms, that would be nearly 520 miles per hour, or the cruising speed of a jet. But another species of Australian tiger beetle, the Cicindela uberniola, has the fastest relative land speed. These beetles can move 171 body lengths per second, or 4.16 miles per hour. This would be equivalent to a 6-foot-tall human running nearly 720 miles per hour. In other words, a human running the corresponding speed of these beetles would almost break the sound barrier. While these record-breaking bugs are certainly speedy, God really holds the speed record. In the Psalms, David often prayed for God to answer him speedily, sometimes because he was in danger, but also when he wanted God's tender mercies for his former iniquities. Psalm 79, verse 8. When it comes to forgiving a repentant sinner, we can be sure that the following promise holds true. Before they call, I will answer. And while they are still speaking, I will hear. Isaiah 65, verse 24. Hear me speedily, O Lord. My spirit faileth. Hide not thy face from me, lest I be like unto them that go down into the pit. Psalms 143, verse 7. That's the end of the first one, and the second one is titled Man's Best Friend. An amazing fact. Man's best friend comes in all shapes and sizes, and some of the sizes are simply amazing. For instance, the world's heaviest as well as longest dog ever recorded was an English Mastiff named Zorba. In 1989, Zorba weighed 343 pounds. He stood 37 inches at the shoulder and was 8 feet 3 inches long from nose to tail. Zorba is now deceased, but was 8 years old when he set this world record. The smallest dog in the world, in terms of length, is a female Chihuahua named Heaven, sent Brandy, who measured 6 inches long from the nose to the tip of the tail. Brandy set this record on January 31st, 2005, and lives with her owner in Florida. On the other hand, the smallest dog in the world in terms of height is Boo Boo, This long-haired female Chihuahua measured 4 inches tall on May 12, 2007, and lives in Kentucky. A Great Dane named George is officially the tallest dog on record. He stands at 43 inches tall from paw to shoulder and weighs 245 pounds. There was so much conflict over this record that Guinness officials sent a judge to Tucson, Arizona, to verify George's height. George eats about 110 pounds of food a month and sleeps in his own queen-sized bed. The oldest dog that has been documented was an Australian cattle dog named Bluey. He was put to sleep at the age of 29 years and 5 months. Though some question whether Bluey, who died in 1939, truly was that old, another dog from Australia named Chilla is reputed to be the oldest dog in the world. In 1984, when Chilla died, he supposedly was 32 years old. In human years, that would equal 224 years. The current oldest living dog is Max, a terrier from the United States, who is 29 plus years old. Dogs are known for their faithfulness, but the Bible tells us of a true friend. A man who has friends must himself be friendly, but there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Proverbs 18, verse 24. That friend is Jesus, who set a universal record when, as the divine Son of God, he laid down his life for us. Now that's a record that will never be beat. And she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Matthew 15, verse 27. And that's the end of the second one. And the last one I'd like to share with you is titled Loyal Geese. An amazing fact. We see them coming in the fall and leaving in early spring, flying along in a V formation. The awesome migration of geese offers a number of inspiring lessons of sacrifice and teamwork. For one thing, as each bird flaps its wings, it creates uplift for the bird immediately following. By flying in V formation, the whole flock adds at least 71% greater flying range than if each bird flew on its own. When a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of trying to go it alone, and quickly gets back in to take advantage of the lifting power of the bird in front. Even though they weigh between 20 to 25 pounds, geese can fly about as high as any bird. A Himalayan mountain climber at 16,000 feet was rather amazed when a flock of geese flew northward about 2 miles over his head, honking as they went. At 7,000 feet, a man has a hard time talking while running, but those geese were probably flying at 27,000 feet, and even calling while they traveled at this tremendous height. Canada geese can reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour during their flights. They can fly for up to 16 hours without rest. Geese are also very loyal. When a goose gets sick or is wounded by gunshot and falls out of formation, 2 other geese follow it down to lend help and protection. They stay with the fallen goose until it is able to fly or until it dies. Geese mate for life, which averages about 20 years, and will stay together during all seasons. They are also excellent parents. They will sacrificially place themselves between any perceived threat and their young. Domesticated geese also make good watchdogs, hissing and honking loudly when strangers come around. There are many accounts of how the family goose laid its life down to save a child from a venomous snake or rabid dog. In describing the power of the gospel to change our lives, the Apostle Paul speaks of Christ laying down his life for us. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Galatians 2 verse 20. Study the life and death of Christ and behold Jesus' expression of love for you, a love more loyal than geese. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. John 15 verse 13. And that is the end of these devotionals. I pray you all have a beautiful day in the Lord. God bless each and every one of you, and I will see you either next video or in the air. Bye-bye.